What's going on, everybody? Sonar here, and this is the recap for practice for stop number 3 on the FLW Tour 2019, and this is Lake Seminole. Lake Seminole is a really neat fishery. It's right on the border of Florida and Georgia. It's a reservoir, so it's unlike a lot of the other Florida lakes that we visit on regular occasions. It has a ton of stumps. It's just absolutely full of stumps, all different types of emergent and submergent vegetation, and also a lot of characteristics that you would normally see with a reservoir. There's some rock, there's a lot of creek channels, drains, all kinds of different things that you can really focus on. And this week has been a really interesting week. You know, it's one of those practices where you knew going into it, if you were monitoring the weather, that it was going to change dramatically from one day of practice to the next. And that's exactly what we had here. The first day of practice, we had temperatures in the upper 70s, close to 80 degrees, and then from there it dropped big time. We had some major storms come through, a big cold front, and now we're sitting on Wednesday with the lows in the very low 30s. It was 30 degrees last night, and it's still really cold right now. And so, and we also had a lot of wind, which is going to churn up that water, make it even colder. So that is a variable that really is going to dictate how this tournament is fished. You know, starting with the first day of practice, you know, I had a really good day of practice. I had about 18 pounds, caught a bunch of fish, and just had a lot of fun. But I knew going into it that I needed to focus on areas where they're going to be during the tournament with these colder conditions, with the water temp dropping, you know, 10 to 12 degrees. I needed to anticipate where those fish were going to be. So that first day of practice was kind of a wash, because during the next 2 days of practice, I had to start focusing on the areas that weren't beat up by the northwest wind, that cold north wind, and then also focus on areas that the fish are going to be once it gets colder. You know, the deeper areas, and you know, a lot of the shallow fishing that I found is probably not going to be a factor until maybe Friday. So there's a lot of variables involved. It's one of those practices where you just really have to focus on what the conditions are going to be and not how you're catching them right now, because you can really get in a trap going out there and you know, catching them on you know, shallow water flat, and you know, when it's warm, and then go there during the tournament when the water has been churned up by that cold wind, and the bite's completely dead. So trying to stay on top of it today, just working on tackle, you know, tearing the boat apart. The Z19, I'm taking everything out of it, all my Fitzgerald rods and reels, all my tackle, just tearing it apart, and also just getting everything dialed in. And then, you know, once I get everything dialed in, that's when I put it back together. So I'm just trying to eliminate a lot of stuff today, get everything just perfectly fine-tuned for the tournament, and all that good stuff. I actually got a radio interview that I've got to do in about an hour now, so I'm gonna go do that in Bainbridge, and you know, but overall I think I'm pretty much done for right now, and by the end of the night I better be done, because tomorrow starts the tournament, and this is going to be a tough one. This is one that you're gonna have to fish the moment, make sure that you're staying on top of the conditions and following your gut, and that's really what it's going to come down to. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to catch them, but I know that I'm going to really just try to stay fluid and make sure that I make the adjustments necessary. So I've got to get going to registration. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to keep updating you throughout the week of how this tournament is going. Hopefully we'll have good news on day one, but really what matters is by the end of the tournament being in that check range, and that's the goal. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all the support, and I'm going to see you guys out in the water. Alright everybody, so for this bassboatelectronics.com quick tip, I wanted to share with you a real quick tip when it comes to my Lowrance units and the Navionics charts that I have in them. This has been something that's really important for Seminole especially, but also other shallow fisheries. You know, turning on Sonar chart data on your Navionics card, whether you have a Navionics Plus Regions, US and Canada, Platinum card, any card that you have from Navionics nowadays has Sonar chart capabilities, and it is 1 foot contours. They're very high definition and up to date. So when I'm fishing a shallow fishery, it's really important to get those little incremental changes and know exactly, you know, where those 1 foot contours are. You know, 1 foot contours mean a big difference on shallow fisheries. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on Sonar charts. I'm gonna show you how to do that, and it's something that's really helped me on Lake Seminole. So let's get started. All right, so here we are on my HDS Live. We've got Lake Seminole right here. This is a Navionics Hot Maps Platinum card, and I have Sonar charts turned off. You can see I have no detail here, and that's very common for shallow fisheries like this, that some areas aren't going to be surveyed with the traditional maps. But what I'm going to do is go to menu. Okay, I'm going to go to more options, chart options. I'm gonna go down to Sonar chart, click that on. All right, so now we've got contours. You can see that the turn on Sonar charts made a huge difference in this area. We can actually see where the creek channel is, and so that's really important. Make sure you spend all this money for a Navionics card, make sure you get the most out of it. So turn on Sonar charts, whether you have a Lowrance unit, a Humminbird, Raymarine, it doesn't matter. Turn on Sonar charts, you're gonna get the most high definition and up-to-date contours on your mapping.